Yeah, can you maybe talk a little bit about, you already said earlier in your kind of like journey that you're really intrigued by the whole architecture, the whole model, how Cosmos is built, right? And the whole fact that it's running on Tendermint and it's more secure and it's kind of like this next generation. There's also an article from October 12th that basically says how CosmWasm is more secure than, for example, smart contracts in Solidity, right? And you said also that you have experience in Ethereum smart contracts. So can you compare a little bit what is CosmWasm compared to Solidity, like the classical smart contracts, maybe from a security perspective, but also from a developer perspective? Like, is it easier to build? Is it more flexible? What are some of the advantages?
Yeah, of course. Maybe we can start from Ethereum. And Ethereum is very, very simple. I mean, you can write a few lines of Solidity, compile and deploy. So the learning curve is very easy. Anyone, I mean, any developer with a little experience can set up a smart contract and deploy it maybe in one day. Also, the first time, it's very simple. But at the same time, as soon the things start to get complicated, you are open to so many errors that the average developer cannot even imagine. For example, one thing of Solidity is that when you write Solidity code, you cannot trust what you are writing, because it happens many times that the Solidity compiler had some kind of bug, and so your code was correct, but the compiled version of it was not correct. And this opened to a lot of difficulties, because you always have to check the bytecode, see that the bytecode reflects the logic that you wanted to code in your code. And yeah, this makes things way more harder and difficult. And there are a lot of security consideration that you always need to take care of. For example, one of these is the re-entrancy attack, where basically when you do a transaction and there is some gas left over and you are maybe invoking another contract, there are some considerations to take care of to prevent other contracts to modify state of your contract. And instead, with CosmWasm, for example, these re-entrancy attacks are basically mitigated by default. So, I mean, I don't say you don't have to take care of, but it's the compiler itself is taking care of these things, and everything is implemented by default. And this is just one of the cool features that CosmWasm implements. The other cool one is that we are not using Solidity, that is a custom-built language only for smart contract, but we use Rust. And Rust is a general purpose language, programming language. So you have two sides. So in my opinion, Solidity is simpler than Rust, because Rust is a quite complicated language. But at the same time, there are a lot of Rust developers that maybe they can just learn how to use CosmWasm library, and they are ready to build smart contracts. And the other nice thing is that, okay, for now we have basically only Rust and some work with Golang, but in the future there will be also other languages that you can use to build WASM smart contracts. So it's way more flexible. The only thing that you need basically is a library. And as soon as you have the library for that language, you can program for CosmWasm. Yeah.
Just